Boys and girls, I am in the castle dungeon. Chapter 13, Perfidy Unlimited. Together, the three mice traveled down, down, down. The thread around Despereaux's neck was tight. He felt as if it was choking him. He tugged at it with one paw. "Don't touch the thread," barked the second hood. "Yeah," echoed the first hood. "Don't touch the thread." They moved quickly, and when Despereaux slowed, one of the two hoods poked him in the shoulder and told him to keep moving. They went through holes in the wall and down golden stairs. They went past rooms with doors that were closed and doors that were flung wide open. The three mice traveled along across marble floors and under heavy velvet drapes. They moved through warm patches of sunlight and dark pools of shade. This, thought Despereaux, was the world he was leaving behind. The world that he knew and loved. And somewhere in it, the Princess P was laughing and smiling and clapping her hands to music, unaware of Despereaux's fate. That he would not be able to let the princess know what had become of him suddenly seemed unbearable to the mouse. Would it be possible for me to have a last word with the princess?" Despereaux asked. "A word?" said the second hood. You want a word with a human." I want to tell her what has happened to me." "Jeez," said the first hood. He stopped and stamped a paw on the floor in frustration. "Cripes! You can't learn, can you?" The voice was terribly familiar to Despereaux. "Furlough," he said. "What?" said the first hood irritably. Despereaux shuddered. His own brother was delivering him to the dungeon. His heart stopped beating and shrunk to a small, cold, disbelieving pebble. But then, just as quickly, it leapt alive again, beating with hope. "Furlough," Despereaux said, and he took one of his brother's paws in his own. "Please, let me go. Please, I'm your brother." Furlough rolled his eyes. He took his paw out of Despereaux's. "No," he said. "No way." "Please," said Despereaux. "No," said Furlough. "Rules are rules." Reader, do you recall the word perfidy? As our story progresses, perfidy becomes an ever more appropriate word, doesn't it? Perfidy was certainly the word that was in Despereaux's mind as the mice finally approached the narrow, steep stairs that led to the black hole of the dungeon. They stood, the three mice, two with hoods and one without, and contemplated the abyss before them. And then Furlough stood up on his hind legs and placed his right paw over his heart. "For the good of the castle mice," he announced to the darkness, "we deliver this day to the dungeon a mouse in need of punishment. He is, according to the laws we have established, wearing the red thread of death. The red thread of death? Repeated Despereaux in a small voice. Wearing the red thread of death? Was a terrible phrase, but the mouse didn't have long to consider its implications, because he was suddenly pushed from behind by the hooded mice. The push was a strong one, and it sent Despereaux flying down the stairs into the dungeon. As he tumbled, whisker over tail, through the darkness, there were only two words in his mind. One was perfidy, and the other word that he clung to was P. Perfidy, P. Perfidy, P. These were the words that pinwheeled through Despereaux's mind as his body descended into darkness. Now, let me tell you something that's really scary. Okay, so this afternoon, I'm doing something on the computer, and I smell cinnamon buns from the kitchen. And my oldest son is cooking cinnamon buns with his girlfriend. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, cinnamon buns for Mr. V. And time passed, and they were leaving to go out. And I said, cinnamon buns. And my son explained that they ate them all, and they left none for me. So if anything scares you, think of the cinnamon buns. But it's okay, because there are brownies in the oven right now, so it's a happy ending. Thumbs up.